Hello, folks. This is Joe from MIGeekScene. I'm here at NotCon 2017 with voice actor, just actor in general,
Yes, sir.
Bryan Massey. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. Well, Bryan, I do a lot of research on people, like I told you before, and we're going to start from the beginning. From what I understand, you were highly influenced by cartoonists and artists. Who?
Probably Chuck Jones was the first one I discovered. Of course, he drew all the Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, so those were always on my TV in the morning on Saturdays. And then I graduated when I was about 4 or 5 to Disney, and I started becoming obsessed with Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse and Goofy. The only problem is, Joe, I couldn't really draw very well. But I would draw like turtles, rabbits, and bear. And I would draw these telephone poles to give them scale, but they'd always be as big as the telephone poles. So I was drawing giant bear, turtle, and a rabbit.
Favorite cartoon series while you were growing up?
Tom and Jerry. I don't know. I just love Tom and Jerry. It's so violent. And looking back now, I'm like, this is super violent. But I love cartoons. I love cartoony movies. I love heightened reality. And now I've got a 6-year-old daughter, so I'm all into to Pixar and all this new stuff coming out, and it's getting better and better. The animation's getting more and more realistic.
It's insane.
Yes,
but
in a good way.
Speaking of insane, obviously you were Lad Russo in Baccano, but before we go into that,
That's right.
What was your first exposure to anime?
First exposure to anime was I got a call from my agent in 2005, I believe. It might have been 2006. And I went to the to Funimation and worked with Mike McFarlane. Hello, Mike.
Was it Walla?
It was Walla. I actually thought, Joe, that Walla was the character I booked. So everyone's like, "What are you doing?" Like, I'm playing this guy named Walla. He's cool. He's a Gemini. He likes to take long walks on the beach. No, but I get in the booth, and it was for a show called Mushishi.
Mushishi.
Mushishi. I always say it wrong. Mushishi. So I get in the booth with another voice actor Brad Hawkins, and Brad and I, it was a Monday morning, super early in the morning, and we just spent 10 minutes in the booth pulling a giant fish from the ocean. So we're doing grunts for 10 minutes straight.
I know that episode. That's a good series. I own that series.
Oh, okay.
With Travis Willingham as the main character.
No, Travis was going to L.A. when I started getting into that world of voice acting, because Travis Willingham and I had the same local actor, our local agency in Dallas, the Horn Agency. But Travis, she wouldn't sign me because of Travis. She's like, "You guys are too much alike." I'm like, "He's 6'5" and 15 years younger than me. How can we be anything alike?" I'm a lot shorter than 6'5". Sorry.
No, I mean, Mushishi was a very good show. And I guess for me, I'm a little disappointed that it did. Season 2 was never dubbed.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I watched it. It's good. I don't know why things get second seasons and they don't. You never know what's going to happen.
Speaking of series that never received a second season,
yes, sir.
Let's talk about Baccano. I didn't necessarily have any questions for it, but if you wanted to talk about your experiences with that show, I mean, because I recently rewatched it while doing research on you, and obviously that show is quality. And I wouldn't be talking about it like, not to blow smoke up your ass or anything like that, because if I didn't like the show, I wouldn't be talking to you about it. But I really enjoyed Lad Russo from that, because
thank you.
You're charismatic and psychotic at the same time.
It was a delight to play that role. I went into that audition, and at that point, I'd only done smaller stuff. Todd Habercorn had given me a job on. Thank you, Todd. Had given me my first small role on D. Gray Man. It's Jerry. And then when Baccano came around, though, that was like a bigger character. And I went to the auditions for Todd Walker and the engineer. And no, I didn't. I just went in. I didn't read for the Rail Tracer. Jerry Jewell did a fantastic job. But I went in and I read for 3 roles. And I just remember, I'm either going to get this part or I'm going to scare the crap out of these guys. Because I'd been auditioning and really hadn't been getting anything. But that was my lucky break. So I got the call from Sue saying they want to schedule me for 3 or 4 hours in the booth, and I was elated. And when I got to the booth, I was thanking Tyler Walker. I was like, "Thanks so much for the role, man. Like, thank you." And he said, "Well, actually, this is just a paid audition." So the audition never ends. So I went again, and I got the role, thank God, and the rest is history, as they say. But what a joy! And he told me that I would never have a role like that again, and he was right. As far as anime goes, it was one of the juiciest roles I've ever gotten to sink my teeth into, and I got a Performance of the Year nominee. I think I won in 2009 for Lad. So I'm indebted to Funimation and Todd Walker for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Blast.
Was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of other Funimation shows that you've made an appearance on, I did like your rendition of Dolph from Space Dandy, the psychotic ex-boyfriend.
Thank you. Yeah, Dolph was great. Joel McDonald gave me that job. Thank you, Joel. And that was a lot of fun. He said when he saw the character of Dolph, it reminded him of Lad. And he's like, well, we want you to come in and you have to play this role. And I was just... I remember I was just excited to be in the booth again, because that show was actually one of my favorite animes, Space Dandy. It's a really well done show, and Ian Sinclair nailed it, as well as Colleen Klinkenberg. The whole cast is great, and Scarlet. That's right, Scarlet. It's just like a whiny guy, but it was fun.
All right, let's segue into a little bit of your personal background. Obviously, from what I understand, you. Huge into comedy, and you were a stand-up comedian.
Yes, sir.
So who are your comedic influences?
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield, Eddie Murphy for certain.
Delirious,
of course. I can't quote it like I used to, but I used to. My friend Pete and I could quote that whole show A to Z. Eddie Murphy's the man. Like, you just saw Rocky, didn't you? He's hey, how you doing? Hey. I love Richard Pryor. I just saw Louis C.K.'s act on Netflix. I just took it last week.
Okay.
I was just dying laughing. Just like the best therapy is a good laugh.
Yeah, my friend recently told me about that, and I told her about, like, did you catch the new Chappelle stand-up specials? Yes. I caught both of them. I was like, some of them were wrong, but overall it was still pretty funny.
Yeah, Chappelle's the man. He's I haven't caught his new show. I know his old shows. I mean, I love Dave Chappelle. He's definitely up there.
Well, he's got 2 stand-up specials right now, and a third one coming on the way on Netflix, so you can just find those easily.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch those for sure. Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, more into the comedy thing. From what I understand, you're a prankster. Favorite pranks you've pulled so far while at work?
Favorite pranks while I've been at work.
Whether voice acting or on the set.
Okay. Oh, well, it's okay.
I know.
I usually get pranked on, which is the
we're going to go into that, too.
Best prank I've ever done on the set or in the voice booth, I would say, well, a lot of times and this isn't really a prank, but a lot of times if I blow a line in the voice booth, I'll just start acting like the mic is cutting out. So I'll be like, and it's the mic cutting out. So I'll do that all the time, and that way they don't use the take, because I don't want. If I blow it off the bat, I'm like, they're not using this take. I'll blow it initially on purpose. I'm trying to think of deliberate. That's not really a prank. That's more like a gag. I would say, it's funny. I'm having pranks I played on my brother and sister. More than my.
Well, you can throw those in then if you
all
want
right.
to do that.
This is horrible, but my mom and dad got separated when I was 13, so I was living with my sister Rose and my brother Matt, both younger than me. And when Dad would go to work, I would, you can think I'm a jerk, I would throw black cat firecrackers on their bed when they were sleeping to wake them up. So it'd be, pop, 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 pop. My sister would be like, I hate you. And I'd throw them on Matt's bed. He'd be like, I hate you too. And of course, I was a real troublemaker in my younger days. My teens, I was just a big prankster. But now I get pranked on all the time. So karma's a nightmare.
Okay, that's what we're going to go into now.
Uh-oh.
Any prank encounters with Christopher Sabat?
Of course, Sabat's the man of pranking. Christopher Sabat. I can't tell that one.
Because Ian, he told me at the time, and no, I'm not name dropping folks, but for those who follow
I am Christopher Sabat.
Christopher Sabat. I have interviewed him, and he was telling me about the time that he had switched out Ian Sinclair's. He somehow managed to get a hotel key to Ian Sinclair's room, and he was slowly switching out his luggage and replacing it with that of a lady. So Ian went in there and was like completely confused,
I know he played one on Sean Schmel too, I believe. He likes pranks. He's pranked me before, but not like that. That's a better prank story than the one I got. So
okay,
yeah, the one I got isn't really probably. I'm not really able to say. Just know that it involved a gerbil and a pair of earrings. So
that's what I call a good start to a weekend, sir. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Oh my!
All right. Well, from what I understand, you have a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background because you you trained under, was it Machado?
Machado. Yeah, so Machado. I took it for about 6 months, and when I was living in LA the first time in 1998, I started taking that, and that's when I was still smoking cigarettes. I'd put on my gi, apple for a while.
Great training methods.
Covered in bruises because I wasn't properly, feeding myself. I was just malnutritioned. But yeah, I mean, I have I'm from Michigan, as you know, and all my wrestling was very prevalent here too. Unlike Texas, like where I grew up, Texas wrestling isn't really around like it is in Michigan and up north, but it's starting to catch on there now. But jiu-jitsu was like a natural transgression from that, and I loved it. Like I love mixed martial arts, and I love all that stuff. I like doing stunts, and so to me, it's just like I'm getting older now, but it's still like just keeping that in my arsenal. So when I do stunts on, say, Conan O'Brien, I can roll with these guys that are real mixed martial artists to me.
Yeah, weren't you California?
Yes, I was California, and that was the best when I got booed by Texas fans because I came out and Conan was like, "Let's meet California," and I'm like, "What up?" And just the whole audience was just booing me. I'll never forget it. It was amazing.
And Hawaii had its
Drew. That's my buddy Drew.
Wait, which one was Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii was my buddy Drew. He
and his back broken.
Yes, Drew. I'm going to say his name wrong. Drew Van Carrick. But yeah, he was also in American Horror Story.
Okay,
he's a fantastic actor. So love you, Drew. And yeah, it was Sam was the choreographer. He played Alaska, and my buddy that played Texas is from right here in Michigan, and he's on that show, The Outsiders. And okay.
Sorry,
it's all right. Yeah. There's a lot of content out there nowadays. There's so many new channels, Hulu, Amazon. I mean, there's so many shows.
That's why I like when I'm taking photos of folks when I'm at conventions.
Jay, that's his name.
They're like,
Jay Adams.
"Have you seen this show? This show?" It's like, I have a full-time job. I have this, and I have a girlfriend. There's so much stuff out there. It's impossible to watch every anime series, play every video game, read every comic book. I just have to pick and
every
choose.
Manga. That's true. That's true.
Do you have any favorite? Back to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. Do you have any favorite MMA fighters?
Yes, I love MMA. I've been watching it since its inception. Of course, I love Conor McGregor because I'm Irish myself. You got three things you got to know.
The Notorious.
Notorious. I also love. I love the heavyweights. I love Junior Dos Santos. I love even the strawweights in the female division. I love Rose, Thug Rose, Namajunas.
I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Yeah, Namajunas.
It wasn't. I mean, she was like, from when I was involved. I mean, I understand either engaged or is married to Pat Barry.
Yeah, she's engaged to Pat Barry, and they train up in Colorado. And I follow her on Instagram. I follow all these people on Instagram. I'm a big supporter or an advocate because I believe their mental willpower is the strongest, and to do what they're doing, if you can even get half there in your life, halfway to where their mentality is, you'll do well. I believe it's just always get up and show up.
I was a big fan of. I haven't seen him in a while, but Carlos Condit.
Yeah, the natural born killer. He's great. Yeah, he's great. He just lost to Damian Maia. He was on an upswing for another title shot, and then he got choked out.
Yeah, but Damian Maia is just
he's a beast.
He's a wizard at.
He's a wizard, man. He's taking on Jorge Masvidal in Dallas, May 11th. I believe it's May 11th. The next UFC, whatever it is, that's right there in Dallas. So I went to the one a couple years ago, but it's like I like watching them on TV because I miss the commentary. When you're at the actual live venue, there's no commentary.
No, not at all.
You're mostly watching the screen anyway, unless you're sitting in the money seats. I was in the nosebleed, so
okay.
I'll probably just watch that one at home.
Obviously, one of my favorite ones of all time was Anderson Silva, even with the steroid
the Spider.
things. I mean, I remember watching his debut fight on UFC Fight.
Yeah, Chris Lieben.
Chris Lieben, and I loved like he's like, well, after I get done with him, I'll send him packing back to Japan where the competition's a little bit easier. And I like at that time I was like, I hate Chris Lieben because I'm not a big fan of cocky fighters.
Yeah,
and he got destroyed.
He got destroyed,
and I was clapping so hard at home. I was like, this is one of the greatest things. But then just his Silva's run.
Right. They destroyed Rich Franklin. Those
Twice.
Muay Thai knees. Oh, he broke his nose. That was brutal. Twice. Yep. He's got an instant rematch in Ohio. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. You got some knowledge too, man. Obviously, you know what you're talking about. That's cool.
Well, I mean, I'm a MMA fan.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
I can tell. That's
like
great.
I like MMA. What, UFC? No, there's
MMA,
yeah,
Bellator,
MMA.
and
Pride from back in the day.
Pride was the best.
Dream?
And also Dream's big now. They got the one, and they've even got the World Series of Fighting, which it just changed to Professional Fighters. I think they changed the name of that too. So.
I'll even throw out a deep cut. One of my favorite fighters from Japan was Genki Sudo.
Yeah, okay. Genki Sudo, you got me there.
Genki Sudo always came out with these elaborate entrances.
Right.
I mean, they were insane, but he could also back it up in the ring.
Oh, well, there you go. Most of those guys can.
And now he runs now he's in a musical group that does really intricate dancing and stuff.
I love dancing too, man. That would be a dream to be in a touring dance show. I'm not even joking. I love it.
Okay, well, speaking of roles, we're going to segue into other things.
Yes, sir.
Why would Audie Murphy be a dream role for you?
He was he's a hero, war hero, and my dad loves Audie Murphy. So probably more for my dad because he was a big Audie Murphy fan, and after World War II, of course, he went on to do a string of movies, and no one's ever really done a biography on him, and I've been told that I remind people of his essence that are big fans of his. So, and there was also a friend of mine, Tom Huckabee. It was one of his suggestions too that I look at Audie Murphy. So that's why he's on the radar for me right now, because I believe every actor needs to have a one-person show, and it's good to have that in your arsenal as a performer. And it's good to have a one-man show or a one-woman show that you can do at any time, because it's going to build you as an actor. I mean, and stand-up comedy is a show, but I'm talking about like a dramatic show where you actually memorize dialogue, and yeah. So I'm looking to do that. I don't know. Tom's been writing this for me. He's a fantastic writer, but we'll see what happens. We've been talking about this for about a year now. I can't believe you found that. I don't know where you found that news about Audie Murphy, but that's pretty good, man.
Oh, I told you.
You threw me off there. I forgot about that.
I was like, I do about 2 to 6 hours of research.
You're making me. I got to get back and get some stuff taken. I got to get back and take care of this stuff.
Oh,
bucket list.
I don't give those typical interviews like how'd you get started and stuff like that. I mean, go to other interviews for that. Okay.
Go to other interviews for that.
After you've watched mine, of course.
After this one, of course, with Joe.
Well, speaking of shows,
yes, sir.
Let's talk about Dollywood.
Oh, Dollywood.
Was it based on exaggerated experiences?
Yes. Dollywood was, my buddy Jeff Hofer and I would take long road trips we were regional actors, and we would just come up with these ridiculous storylines because most of them were based on our actual, experiences. And you're right. We would give them a heightened reality because acting, show business in general, is pretty ridiculous. The things that, it's all just so, it's its own little world. And we had a great time explaining it. That was a lot of fun, and I still get asked about Dollywood, so thank you. It's
best actor in Texas.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wasn't supposed to be playing twins. We did that because we couldn't find anybody to play Roger Bottoms, the character that Jeff Hofer wrote. He wrote it we tried a couple other actors, and there was conflict. So Drew Riss, the director, and I had worked together on something called Telepathon many years ago. Maybe you'll see it one day. We'll put it on YouTube. But I played triplet psychics that get in a fight with each other, and Drew and I did that. So we knew that playing twins would be a piece of cake compared to that, and it ended up being a lot of fun.
All right, another question for Dollywood. In every episode except for episode 4, you did a shot of whipped cream. Was that in your contract, writer?
Yes, the whipped cream was just an improv. That I came up with. I just looking for some business to do, and I came in the door, and I guess I kind of channeled my inner Kramer, because Kramer would just walk into Jerry's place. But I'm like, if I gotta walk in with something. I gotta have a purpose here. And the whipped cream was just something that came out of improvising with Jeff, and then it stuck. So
it was pretty funny. I mean, episode 4, when you didn't do a shot of whipped cream, you still had a cream-filled cupcake. So I think you got your whipped cream.
yeah, the whipped cream. The whipped cream. You're right with Ariane.
That was a theme that ran throughout the show.
Yeah,
a little subtle. Even the pilot episode,
Jeff
was whipped cream.
Jeff kept he liked the whipped cream bit so much he kept putting it in every script. So.
All right, another show that you're a part of, VO the Show.
Yes, thank you.
Was Cyrus Blackburn based on anyone in particular? Because that boss is terrible.
He is terrible.
He's a terrible agent, should I say.
He is a terrible agent. And he wasn't really even based on anybody in show business. He was based on people I've known outside of the business. So, yes, he was based on probably 3 different people. But it's funny as I channel my dad's voice when I do Cyrus, because my dad talks like that. So I'm like, what are you talking about, Ryan? Let's get in there, brah. I was just channeling my impersonation of my dad, and that's where the voice came from. But the horrendousness of Cyrus Blackburn was something that Joe Brooks and I, and now we're working with Tim McDonald. We've been working on this show now for like 4 or 5 years. So we're actually changing the show completely right now. It's going to be a whole new show. Cyrus is still in there, but it's not really about voice acting as it used to be now. It's going to be something completely different. We're working with a new producer out in LA, and we're real excited about where it's going. So
I felt bad for Ryan Braw because he finally got on, what was it, the Golden
Throat Awards.
Or no, that was the one with Chris Sabat was the...
yeah.
He was telling his life story, and then...
Inside the actor's studio apartment.
Yes, and Blackburn...
Thank you, Sabat, for doing that.
Blackburn just went on that car bender, so just to interrupt. It felt so bad.
Well, see, originally I was supposed to be Ryan Braw, and actually Ryan Braw's stories are based on my experience. I am Ryan Braw, really. And Cyrus Blackburn was the part that Joe was going to play. But at the last minute, I said, let me play Cyrus, and because I want to voice myself. And so he voiced Ryan. But thanks for watching that.
Oh, yeah.
Show.com.
I watched all the episodes. I really enjoyed the Brahmadeus episode. The operatic wig was pretty hilarious.
Thank you. That's Timmy Mack. He's from Scotland. He was our Scottish wig. But he and Rebecca Kennedy and Allison McDaniel, thank you. And Leah Clark, thank you to all of them. They all came in. And Susanna Gibb, they all came through for us. And Jason Kane, sorry.
That was a really good episode.
Thank you. Yes, we're real excited. We're trying to get that into some shorts. I got to get with Joe again and Tim, and we got to talk about getting that into some festivals because we're doing another cut of Brahmadeus. And we're also doing a new musical called Brocky, which will be Rocky, but Ryan Braw's Rocky.
Okay.
So that'll be exciting.
Yo, Adrian.
Yo, how you doing? Hey, yo, Adrian.
Hey, Paulie.
Hey, Paulie. How you doing? Hey, cut me, Mick, cut me. I can't see him. Cut me, Mick. Cut me, Mick. Cut me.
You're a bum, Rocky. You're a bum.
I want you to eat thunder and crap lightning. No, it's a reverse. Eat lightning and crap thunder. You're going to be chasing chickens. Mick. My daughter loves Rocky, so I've been watching that all the time lately. And Creed. Come on, Creed.
I've never seen Creed.
Oh, you haven't seen Creed? It's great. It's great, man. It's that's good. There's going to be another Creed, too, I'm sure. It's a good movie. I saw it 3 times in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter loves Rocky, and I lived in Philadelphia for a short time with her mom, and we're big fans. So.
All right. Well, does your daughter have any favorite films? I don't really go into people's personal lives.
Oh, it's okay. I don't mind that. My 6-year-old, she loves all the Star Wars films, and she loves the Rocky films, and she loves Harry Potter. She's your basic kid. So she loves pop culture, and she loves movies. She loves them all.
Speaking of Star Wars, did she enjoy Rogue One?
Yes. She loved Rogue One, and we saw that. I saw that 3 times in the theater. I had to see it once before I took her. Then I took her, and then we saw it again at home on rental.
Okay.
Yes.
My girlfriend, we recently watched that, and she's like, it was so sad, like how everything happened. I was like, oh, come on, honey. You knew this was going to end this way. Rogue One's, spoiler alert, is essentially a movie about suicide. Okay, that's it. It's the most expensive fan film I've ever watched. It's a giant film.
and it stands on its own, and I appreciate it for that. There was a lot of things about it that I was like, and of course the robot Alan, yes, was amazing. He stole the robot stole the show.
Oh, I would agree. That was my favorite character from that movie.
So I loved it. I'm looking forward to the Last Jedi. I mean, of course, I'm a Star Wars junkie. I call it Star Wars porn. Just give it to me. I love Star Wars.
All right, sorry, impromptu question. All right, speaking of Star Wars, did you read that fan theory that Jar Jar Binks is really a Sith Lord Master?
Please, says a Roger Rabbit. I don't know about that. I mean, Jar Jar he's like that cankerous sore on the Star Wars universe. I mean, we like to just pick at it, but we don't want to see it too much.
I actually I would suggest looking up the fan theory because this person went into insane detail about it.
Sure.
And it actually made a lot of sense. Like that whole idiocy thing was just was an act for manipulation and stuff. And I'm like,
I hope he's wrong. I hope we don't see Jar Jar anymore. No offense.
If Jar Jar showed up as just completely evil, didn't speak like an idiot, and was just...
Do you think Jar Jar will help box office returns?
No, but a little bit of closure. Or...
They should kill him off so they want to close it. Have it just pop up and go, "What you be doing?" And then someone just slices him in half with a lightsaber.
Okay, fair enough. Or he's just completely menacing.
I feel bad for the actor that played Jar Jar. I mean, that's the saddest part to me is you finally get this huge role
in Star Wars,
most hated role in Star Wars history, and but he's a part of that universe. And out there somewhere, I know there's Jar Jar fans, so there's always fans of something.
All right, we're winding down this interview. Let's talk about Ghostbreakers.
Yeah, got your back. I just talked to Joey Greco last week.
You're the security guy, Massey.
Yes, security guy. Thank you. We shot that for 3 months in Shreveport, and then had a blast. We got 18 episodes in the can, and it's just a spoof of, as you know, paranormal ghost hunting shows. And Ben Wilbanks and Gabriel Horn got us down to Shreveport for 3 months, and it was at 2011. Yes, and from January to April, end of January to April, we shot that. And it got on this small channel called YouTube, and then went to the Family Channel. And now, I don't know, we're hoping for a season 2 because it's getting a little following apparently. So, fingers crossed. You just keep putting irons in the fire, my friends. Never quit.
All right. So, what's new that you can talk about? That you're allowed to talk about, should I say?
Okay. Because I'm excited about Funimation stuff, which I can't talk about yet, but thank God for Kyle Phillips and Clifford and all the directors there, and Zach Bolton. Those guys are great. I'm dropping a lot of names here today. What can I talk about? I can talk about. It's funny. I did a short film, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm really excited about this. Called I think I can talk about this. Called Alternative Math, and I really think this is I've never been to Sundance. I think this is the one that's going to Sundance. The producer and the cast and the director have all been to Sundance before, and I am very happy to be a part of this short film. I think it's going to, especially as a sign of the times, I think it's going to do really well. And from what I've seen, I think this is my ticket to Sundance.
Are you allowed to talk about what it's about, like the general plot?
It's basically, it's called Alternative Math, and that should probably tell you almost everything. It's fake math.
Oh, okay. Not set in the 90s?
No, it's set in present day.
Okay.
It's set in the 2017s.
All right. Well, if fans wanted to reach out to you, where could they find you?
You can find me on Twitter. My handle's Mr. Massey on Twitter. Mister. Same thing for Instagram. And I also have a Facebook page. Just my name, Bryan Massey. I think my pictures of Wilhelm, the enforcer from Borderlands. That's my profile pic. So if you see that, that's me.
All right. And final question. What would you like to say to your fans throughout the years?
Thanks so much for getting my back. You are the best fans I could ever hope to have. And I'm so happy to have your support. It means the world to me. So thank you for all this. It's been a long road, and it's been worth it.
All right. Well, Bryan, thank you so much for the
Thank
interview.
you, Joe. It's been a pleasure, man.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do. Well, folks, this is Joe from MIGeekScene at NotCon 2017 with Bryan Massey. Take it easy.
Bye.